The Writing Life by Annie Dillard is an advice book for writers filled with authors' personal stories and experiences. There's a lot you can take away from this book, but here are the 10 advice gems that inspired me. Gem number 1 is on page 3. Dillard writes, "You make the path boldly and follow it fearfully." This relates to writing and also life. This means go with your gut and do what you know. Be confident your decision is the right one. The second gem is on page 26. Dillard says, "Appealing workplaces are to be avoided." This helps the writing process by limiting distractions. It helps the writer focus on what they are to do, which is write. The third gem is on page 32. It says, "A schedule defends from chaos and whim." Keeping a schedule can help a writer stay on track. Having a set plan for writing times and due dates can help writers and students complete their tasks. The fourth gem is on page 52. Dillard writes, "You must visit it every day and reassert your mastery over it. If you skip a day, you are quite rightly afraid to open the door to its room." This quote says, no matter how hard, it is important to keep on writing and not skip days. You'll lose motivation and you'll lose your place. The fifth gem is on page 59. She writes, "Aim for the chopping block. If you aim for the wood, you have nothing. Aim past the wood. Aim through the wood." This analogy explains that to accomplish something, you must have the goal in mind and stop at nothing to achieve it. The sixth gem is mentioned on page 68. Dillard says, "Write as if you were dying." She says to assume you write for an audience consisting of solely terminal patients. I think this advice is important because she is saying that writing should be with a purpose and to better someone's life. Write about beautiful things and good lessons that you would like to share. The seventh gem is found on page 69 in the book. The author writes, "Only after the writer lets literature shape her can she shape literature." This means that before you can write a book or a novel, the author suggests to study other books and novels and to read and familiarize yourself with other works. The eighth gem is on page 78, and the author's advice is to push it. She says to examine all things intensely and relentlessly. Her advice is to dive in, to go in depth through research, and to really develop your ideas. Her advice is to show your determination in your writing. The ninth gem is located on page 78 and says, "Do not hoard what seems good for a later place in the book." This says that when you have a good idea or thought, use it immediately. The author wants the writer to give it all they've got in each moment of writing and trust that something more will arise for later. The last gem is found on page 11, and I believe it's the most important piece of advice the author gives. She says that it is life at its most free if you are fortunate enough to be able to try it being writing. The author says that writing is a freedom that we should enjoy. Having the ability to express ourselves by writing is a gift that we should take full advantage of.